Hey YouTube, good morning. It's the day after .69.1 was released, and it looks like a whole lot more testers are getting it. I'm going to do some unprotected left turns today. It is 8 a.m., so this is pretty good rush hour, but I haven't done any turns yet, so let's just see what it looks like here. Got the creep network. Okay, it needs to stop. School bus. Tiny little gaps. It needs to wait. Is it going to its creep limit? Boy, that creep limit's way out there. I got a tiny little gap here from the left. It could go. Okay. I intervened there. That car definitely was coming fast, and it started to proceed. If I'd have felt a stronger commit, I might have let it go, but it did not commit. So I stopped it, and it was not all the way to that creep network. So that's a pretty good example of the creep network being pretty far out there. So I'm just going to reverse and reset here. Give it another try. That creep network logic is very helpful for me to understand how far out it's going to go. But when it goes, I need to feel a commit speed that I'm comfortable with based on the gap that I am seeing with my eyes. Now, granted, we can all debate all day long about the car, you know, can see better than you and all of these things. And I know for a fact that my eyes can see further than the car. It needs to stop. Gosh, it really creeped out there a long ways. He went around me a little bit. There's a tiny gap after this white car, and it can go here to the median, and it should go to the median, and after this truck, it can roll it. Okay, so take two, it did a pretty good job, but boy, it was an uncomfortable creep distance. And maybe it was uncomfortable because of the lunges it felt like it was making. Had it slowly and steadily creeped all the way to the limit, even though it is almost in the road. We have a weed eater guy here. Interesting, gave him a little bit of room. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, here we go again. Just had a car doing a right-hand turn. Double check my map, is going left. There's the stop. There's the creep. Notice how the blue is flickering out there in the median. All right, that is a good spot right there. It can creep a little bit further forward. There's a nice little small gap here on the left. It should go to the median and wait here. The left lane is open. It's choosing to wait on this car, and it probably should go right now. Interesting, it's not choosing to go. There are a couple other cars in the middle and the far right lane, which does sort of imply that it's waiting on all three lanes to be clear. It should go after this car if that's the case, because it was clear. So that was a good one. It was a much smaller traffic scenario, but it used the creep. It used the median with the pose to the right. There was an open left lane, but it definitely chose not to use an empty left lane and waited on all three lanes to be clear in that situation. Okay, let's try another one. All right, here we go. It's got a left blinker on. I'm gonna turn that off. The planner is definitely going to the left here. That was a right blinker, I'm sorry. All right, creeping out to the edge. Let's see where we go. Okay, we got a lot of traffic here, so it definitely is gonna have to wait a little bit here. Small, tiny gaps, but it should just wait. And we have a stoplight to the right that is blocking the traffic, so we might have a little bit of a stack up here. Let's see how it goes. According to this diagram, it could creep a little bit further out. I'm comfortable with where it is. If it wanted to go out a little bit further, that would be okay, as long as it didn't do it too aggressively. Okay, here's the first gap. It can go for the median. It needs to kind of give a commit here, though. There's the commit, get into the median, and now it's got to wait. So that was really good. It didn't need to go for that gap because there was a larger gap behind it, but it fit in just fine. It got the pose just right. Now the left lane is clear, and now the right and the middle lane are clear, and it's proceeding. Okay, so that's 2 for 2, where it was obvious it's waiting for all three lanes on the right to be clear, even to just jump into this left lane. But I'm okay with that. It did a good job. A little bit jerky getting into the median, but it did it just fine. No problems there. Let's try another one. All right. Got the route. Looks like we might have a little gap in traffic just from where I'm sitting here, but let's see what happens. We got a creep. Needs to go slowly. Okay, now we do have to wait. Okay, good. That was a good decision, and it's in a good spot. I can see all the way down. If I lean my head all the way back to the B pillar, it's got an adequate view. It's not, it can go a little further forward, but I'm very comfortable here. A large gap opening up from the left. This is great. And it's a large gap from the right. But we do have a car coming, but it's plenty open. And it went for it, and it stayed in the left lane. And now it should commit a little bit more than that. Okay, that commit right there, that jerk acceleration that's happening in that situation felt less than it did in 69.0. It was fine. It just sometimes when you're joining 50-mile-an-hour traffic with oncoming cars, I'm going around this guy a little bit because he was blowing weed eater information, debris out. You know, when you're joining the traffic, sometimes a little bit more acceleration is required over smoothness. All right, let's try another one. All right, here we go again. Big gap from the left and the right. This should be a roller. It should do this no problem. Yep, didn't hesitate too long, didn't creep too much. It was wide open and it went for it. So there's a good low traffic scenario to see the lateral maneuver it's thinking through without any unnecessary pauses. It made the decision very quickly that it was clear and it proceeded. So unlike yesterday in the Memorial Park video where I saw some lane confusion after it completed the maneuver, that time it stayed in the left lane just fine. All right, let's see what we have on this round. There's the stop. There's the creep line. Lots of traffic. And with all this traffic, it didn't even act like it wanted to get too close. So it just was comfortable sitting here. So I've got a situation where I've got a nice gap opening up on the left, and I have traffic coming from the right, so it probably is going to use the median. Where is it going to stop? Okay. Now, the left lane is open. I do feel like my rear is sticking out, but I have no cars opposing me here, and it stayed there rather than getting all the way in the median that time. So that, I'm not sure if it left the rear of the vehicle in the lane because it knew there was no cars coming and it just got lucky, or why did it not pull itself all the way in the median like it had the previous two times? I'm not sure. Okay, this time I've got a lead car turning right at the intersection, just so you can kind of see his blinkers are not on, but his brake lights are being displayed. Kind of the way the car's leaning out to the right, waiting on visibility. And I'm beyond the stop line. So theoretically, I need to also stop at the stop line. And it did. Good. Okay, perfect. Now there's the creep network. And it needs to stop. Okay, okay, I had to take over there. It poked its nose out without a good solution to commit. It stuck its nose out and waited, and that was not good. So that was me rapidly intervening and jumping into the median. Wonder what that's going to look like from the drone view. And where I was with regards to the creep network. Did it cross the line or did it go out to the line and the line was just too far out? I guess we'll just have to look at that afterwards. All right, here we go. So another lead car this time. Looks like these lead cars aren't waiting very long, so maybe there's a nice gap here. But let's see, the stop line's right here. Should creep up a little bit. Creeping for visibility. Tiny little gap. It needs to wait. Where did it wait? It feels like it's waiting in the road, but now it's going to go. So that was not unsafe because of the traffic situation. And wow, that was kind of an aggressive pose, but it did get into the lane here, and I'm comfortable where I am. And it looks like these cars are also comfortable with where I am. So that time, it aggressively kind of put itself in the median, which kind of does make me think that it knows when it needs to get all the way in the median versus when it can hang out. Now there's a small gap here, it needs to wait. Okay, wait, okay, yeah, it needed to wait on that guy. And I disengaged just a little bit there, I guess, with the nudge. So if it had used an aggressive commit, it could have fit in front of that guy, but it didn't. And I guess I disengaged just with the tension of the wheel. All right, well, you know, we've kind of seen a mixed bag here today. I think that's all I'm going to do, only because... Sorry, I'm just talking while I'm driving here around the construction workers. Because I think that, you know, the behavior in the traffic was a little bit different. The creeping, you know, logic was the same. The median logic was the same. It's just the traffic that it had to deal with was a little bit different. It definitely jumped out in front of a couple cars today that it did not do on my .0 test. And granted, that .0 test was an N of 1, you know, a day, so those results can't be taken in isolation. I'm still very happy with the median logic. I think it's a great tool. The creeping network, you know, I'm still kind of studying it because the network does jump around a little bit, and in some situations the creep line is too far out into the lane. So anyway, I think I'm going to put this up today, let you guys make some comments on it. Tell me what you think. Have a great day.